Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Imperial HoloNet. I am JID123,
I'm Red Leader Antilles.
and we are here with special guest Connor.
Hi, everybody.
But today we are not doing our usual Dark Knight commentaries as you expected. Oh no, we're here to do a review of the latest DC film, Suicide Squad. So, let's begin, I guess. Red, would you like to talk first?
I'll go last.
Okay, Connor, how about you go first? You're the special guest. How did you feel about the
Okay.
film?
I have not seen Elektra, Catwoman, Green Lantern, or Jonah Hex.
Uh huh.
So say what I say next with a bit of a grain of salt. This is in the three worst comic book movies I've ever seen.
Ooh.
I hate this movie. This is a Warcraft level disaster, in my
But it's
opinion.
up there with Rises?
Oh!
Burn, burn, burn. Ooh, we're gonna have so much fun when we get to that movie eventually.
Oh, God.
Oh boy. Okay. I guess I'll go second. I thought this was just some dumb fun. I did not come out feeling like it was soulless like Batman vs Superman. I can see all the flaws, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just have low standards, or maybe I just enjoy the parts a little bit more. I felt like it was a film that always kept that when it almost got there, it stopped, and that made me kind of sad. I had been more of an innuendo, but I don't want to say it since my mom's around. But yeah, that's how I felt about it. Red, you go last. I think you have the most controversial opinion of us all.
What do you mean? I have the exact same opinion as you. I just thought I loved it because it was really. This film is like a really damn good film that just got. Like, that somebody just took a fucking hacksaw to and was just intent on getting rid of every single bit of interesting stuff. And what's so sad is you can see those interesting things, and I enjoyed watching it because I could see where these really interesting elements were. And while they didn't connect by the end, I still like it's one of those films that, like, it's not it does fall apart, but in the saddest way possible, where you can see how it fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so depressing because you see what it was supposed to be, and the fact that it just got screwed over.
Interesting. I'm actually interested, glad that Connor's here because Connor, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, I don't remember. You and Rasco did that studio interference video, and I'm just so glad you're here because I feel like this is going to be a continuation of this video, that video in a weird way. Um, Connor, do you agree with that sentiment, or do you think that even if this film wasn't messed with, you would have felt the same way?
It's hard to tell.
Okay.
So it's strange when we get something like this because we don't know if there's going to be a director's cut or not.
Mm-hmm. That's
Uh,
fair. Fair point.
uh, but it's always a little bothersome when before Batman versus Superman even came out, it was said that there was going to be a 30-minute longer um, ultimate cut of that movie,
Right.
and what that did is that's a really interesting marketing tactic for stupid people because what happens, and I'm sorry to say that so bluntly, and I'm not calling anybody here stupid, but what that did was people would say, "Oh, did you like the movie?" And if you said yes, they would, "Oh, sweet, I liked the movie too." But then if they ask you, "Hey, do you like the movie?" and you said, "No, I didn't," they say, "Well, you haven't seen the whole movie though."
Exactly. It's like
And
just fucking make the movie. Don't give us two versions right after release.
That's
and
why I
and
like the Lord of
so
the Rings extended editions. We have to wait for those.
Yeah.
exactly. And the thing is, it's interesting to talk about, and I'm talking about studio interference and extended and diminished cuts right now because I think it's an interesting time to do that. But I just got done working on a short film with my brother,
Mm-hmm.
and the short film had to be 5 minutes long. That was as long as it could be. It had to be between 3 and 5 minutes long. Spencer wrote a 9-page script,
Mm-hmm.
and we filmed all of it, and I thought it turned out really good. The problem is, it was longer than 5 minutes. So what Spencer and our editor James did was they cut out as much as they could to keep it at 5 minutes, but still try to retain the story. And I think the version that we ended up with isn't, as good as what it could have been, but there's still a story that you can follow there. And that's what say something like The Lord of the Rings is.
Right.
There's still a
Mm.
story there. You can still follow the beats. Um, with something like Batman versus Superman, and I'm going to assume with something like Suicide Squad, there are holes and things that just don't make sense. Scenes that should be rearranged, shots in scenes that should be rearranged for any sort of cohesive sense. This movie has some of the most bizarre editing choices I can think of. Now, I know there was a lot of studio interference where this is concerned. Ayer was working on his version, and they had Warner Brothers brought in the company that cut the trailer of the movie to have a competing cut. They showed both versions to test audiences, and then they tried to make this weird Frankenstein amalgamation of both of them.
Oh,
So
that's just fucked up.
that's what we got here. And then David Ayer claims that what we get is what he wanted to release, but I don't believe him. And what we have is such a weird thing of David Ayer loves to make movies about the deconstruction of the action hero. That's what he loves to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell he's a huge fan of Sam Peckinpah, who made, of course, The Wild Bunch and Straw Dogs in the 1970s. Sam Peckinpah is one of the most influential filmmakers of all time. But if you've seen Fury, if you've seen End of Watch, if you've seen something that's terrible like Sabotage, you can see those conventions and those tropes and those cliches that he goes to, because those are the kinds of stories he likes to tell. And at this point, I think it's a little repetitive. But I'm not going to, I like telling stories about one thing or the other. And do they get repetitive? Sure. But so I'll forgive David Ayer for being a little bit repetitive with the stories he likes to tell. The thing is, I feel like I watched something that was sort of a David Ayer movie, but that was mostly just rushed out, because apparently when they announced the big slate of DC movies in October of 2014, they said this was coming out in August of 2016, and they would not move that date. And that was right when they had gotten David Ayer. So he had less than 2 years to release this movie. And they said they would not move the release date because they didn't want to, because they had all these deals with marketing partners. So he just
Fascinating.
had to basically sit down and hash out a script that is, quite frankly, feels like a first draft, probably because it's a first draft. I'll bet you it's a first draft. And what we get is this bizarrely hacked, edited version of a first draft script. It's like Quantum of Solace, if it only sucked more than Quantum of Solace. I'm done ranting, and I'm sorry
No,
to get
no.
angry and mad about it, because I know you guys like this, but I'd like to hear you guys like it.
But no,
Uh,
because I like it, I hate it all the more in a weird way. It's a lot like with episode 1, where it's like you see where it went wrong, and it's really depressing.
oh yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so for me, last of these DC films I saw was Batman vs Superman, and I didn't like that at all. For many reasons, because incohesive plot. Okay, Connor, I have to ask you this because I've been asking everybody. When you saw Batman vs Superman, were your eyes literally in pain? And I don't mean in a oh my gosh this sucks kind of a way, but more like the way the camera was moving and how the way everything looked. Like, were your eyes hurting?
No, in fact, the cinematography is the only good thing about Batman versus Superman. I think they have Larry Fong behind the camera as the cinematographer, and Larry Fong is the true hero of Zack Snyder's films. Because what's the one defense you always hear people say about Zack Snyder films?
It looks good.
They're
Well,
shot beautifully.
their vision. He's really good at visuals.
Mhm.
No, he's not. Larry Fong's a good guy with visuals. They always point to 300, Sucker Punch, Watchmen, and some other one that I'm forgetting. But if you
Watchmen
look
is
at,
just visuals. It's like 90% slow-mo.
yeah, but if you look at Watchmen, if you look at 300, if you look at Sucker Punch, they all have the same cinematographer. You don't ever hear anyone say, "Man, Dawn of the Dead is visually striking."
That's true.
Man, the Owls of Ga'Hoole is visually striking. You don't even hear people saying Man of Steel is particularly visually striking. When Larry Fong's behind the camera, he can take. But the thing is, Larry Fong is so good behind the camera, but Zack Snyder isn't good at telling stories with those good images. That's where I get frustrated with. Unless, of course, he has them storyboarded out for him in advance, like 300 or Watchmen.
Okay, so maybe it was just me then. I was just having a bad day.
But that's the one thing. Like, Batman vs Superman is a very, very bad movie. On a narrative level, it's a complete disaster. But I will say, on a production level, it at least looks good. There are things I don't like about it. Some of the special effects are a little wonky.
Hmm.
It uses way too many close-ups. It has no establishing shots. Those are all bad. But the costumes are good. The cinematography is good. The lighting's good. The colors can be good at times. So that's probably where I'm going with.
Okay, I just want to say, I do agree, like, something Captain Logan said in his review, that the movie takes a little while to get on its feet. Like, I felt the beginning was like, okay, when we gonna get to the actual Suicide Squatting part? Like, I like these flashbacks, seeing Joker and Harley being wild and kooky, but like, okay, when are we gonna get to the actual, Suicide Squatting part?
The problem is, like, the first act is like a double beat. Like, they do the intro, and then they reintroduce it again.
I know that's weird. Though I did like seeing, I think Harley and Joker's flashback was my favorite, but maybe I just have a soft spot for those two.
I would go with the Deadshot one just because I love the subtlety of Batman in
Oh
an
yeah.
alleyway with a gun being pointed at a kid and just Ben's face.
Oh yeah, I love anything to do with superheroes and children. It's kind of my weakness.
Well, especially Batman in an alleyway.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And also, like, Ben Affleck just keeps getting better and keeps proving how perfect he is for that role.
I can't wait for him to get his own movie. Let's see. What
Yeah,
else?
and you know it won't be screwed over because he'll get total control. Which I really, it's hard to talk about like how to salvage DC going forward after this, because a director's cut wouldn't really fix the problems with it, wouldn't make back all the money, obviously. But I feel like part of what DC needs to do at this point is just freaking obviously get rid of Snyder. And I would say give Ayer another film and just give him total creative control, but they never do that.
No.
I think Ayer's an interesting choice for this movie because what his sensibilities and the stories he likes to tell and the way he likes to tell stories are different, and what something of what we get here is really different than what we were sold. And I think if they sold the movie like it was supposed to be, I don't know. I would have been maybe a little bit less disappointed.
Well, hang
Um,
on, Connor. I actually want to backtrack on there because there is a movie that you and I both know was sold differently than how it was, and that film is our beloved Godzilla 2014. You watch those trailers, and Godzilla comes out like the bad guy until you actually watch the movie, and he's the good guy. But to be fair,
yeah, but
I actually do like
the
Godzilla.
difference between there is that's a Godzilla movie. We have had like what almost 30 Godzilla movies.
That's fair. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good point. But um, I thought we were going to get like a superhero grindhouse movie, and I thought that sounded awesome. It wouldn't be, like uh, exploitive and offensive in like that old trashy way, like a real grindhouse movie. But it would have been a grindhouse movie, the likes of which Robert Rodriguez or Quentin Tarantino like to pay homage to. You know the way they make their like they even made the Grindhouse double feature with Planet Terror and Death Proof.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
I understand. Like, I will say this, and I don't want to get too on this subject, but I was kind of getting a little uncomfortable how all the women were like, butt slap, and Harley looked like she's ready to, get ready to go anytime.
yeah, that was problematic. I want to talk about that one later, but
The weird thing with that is that's Harley's character, which is the awkward thing about using a character like Harley, is you kind of have to either tiptoe around that or just completely axe it.
The doctor also seemed like he fell in love with that soldier really quickly, and El Diablo. I saw the way he was looking at his wife, and referred to his wife, so I guess we cool.
yeah.
Well, that was we weren't supposed to like him at that point, though.
That's true.
Showing a character be objectifying to show that he was an asshole isn't really a bad thing. He's being an objectifying asshole. They didn't praise him for being an objectifying asshole. In fact, Harley even yells at him in that scene, obviously over the kids thing. But they're not trying to make him a good guy there.
That's true. It's just weird to look at. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah, they're bad people. To quote Harley, we're bad guy, which I hate that delivery. Margot Robbie gives a good performance to that, but that delivery was shit.
Yeah, I actually like Margot Robbie as a performer. I like how they actually said Mr. J. That was cool. There's like I don't know where to start with this movie. Red, do you want to take us somewhere? Take us somewhere.
I guess we can all agree that the performances were pretty consistently solid.
Yeah, everyone except for Jared Leto gives a great performance. Well, everyone except for Jared Leto and Joel Kinnaman. Joel Kinnaman's about as he's a stick in the mud. Cara Delevingne is a train wreck, and Jared Leto's two train wrecks. That's basically my thoughts on the performances. I really like Margot Robbie. Will Smith is entertaining. Jai Courtney of all people is really entertaining. I liked the guy who plays Killer Croc. I thought he did some interesting things with his performance. El Diablo, Jay Hernandez does a great job as El Diablo. He does a good job with restraint and knowing how to play that character cool.
I
But
think he's my favorite character. Yeah, so
Yeah, probably. The character I absolutely loved, which I didn't expect to get much stuff to do, but it probably didn't need to be in the film, but Katana was amazing.
oh yeah, Katana's in this movie.
Yeah, she gets like nothing to do, but it kind of weirdly fits because that's Katana's role constantly, is just person in background glaring. Yeah,
Okay, but
she does it well. She glares really well.
the actress who plays Katana is going to be at Rose City Comic Con, which is Portland, Oregon Comic Con, which I go to. She'll be there this year, which is kind of cool. My only question is, why is Katana even in this movie? Why is she on the squad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's so weird because that's such an easy out with just saying that maybe Soul Taker's sword might give them an edge.
But okay,
Well,
here's the thing. They say, so Slipknot shows up at the 10th hour without any introduction. They say, oh, he's going to help us because he's good at climbing. And then he punches a woman, so you know he's bad. And then at the 11th hour, Katana just shows up on their jet and he goes, oh, yep, this is Katana. She's going to be with us too. Don't you try to double cross me or try to get at me or she's going to get you. But I thought you already had Amanda Waller as collateral if they got you. Why do they have the things in their brains that'll explode? Why, if they have that, then why do you need Katana?
yeah, and it's so weird because like it would have been a little bit better if maybe the reason, because I don't get why necessarily she walks into the bar with the rest of the squad because she didn't really bond with them at all. Like I think it would have almost been better if maybe they needed the sword, and so that's why they had, and then that's why she gets pissed is because they were manipulating her.
Do you think maybe they tried to have Katana try to ease us into the mystical voodoo voodoo stuff that happens later in the movie? Because
What's
I
weird is
think
they do the mystical stuff before they show her is the weird thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
intro scene with her should have been the scene where she kills the guy who killed her husband, which again, that actress is fantastic. Especially in that scene, that should have been like her intro scene towards the beginning of the movie, and it should have been extended. Because
Yeah.
she fit like the character and her entire story fits really well into like the thematic points of the movie, but just how it's played in the movie just doesn't work.
I actually like to. Oh, sorry. If you're done with this point, I'd like to bring up Jared Leto just for a second. I like the idea of Mob Boss Joker. I just don't know where it comes from, and they don't explain where it comes from. That's like my big problem. Like we were talking, me and Red, when we were doing our what we hope for Suicide Squad, and we were kind of hoping like we would learn like why is this his new personality of the day or of the year? And I feel
It doesn't necessarily seem. It seems almost like this was always his personality. Weirdly,
I know like that's kind of weird. What's your problem?
What was that?
I'm just curious. Like, what was your problem with Jared Leto's performance? With the actual performance, or like the fact that we don't know where it comes from?
Oh, I have no problem that we don't know where it comes from. I think his performance is just terrible.
Interesting.
And which is weird because I was going into this on Team Leto. When they announced Jared Leto was going to be the Joker, I thought that is great casting. You have an Academy Award-winning actor, stepping into these huge shoes that we've had great actors before. I really think Jack Nicholson's Joker is great. I mean, it's just Jack Nicholson being goofy. How can you not love that? Heath Ledger's performance is excellent. Cesar Romero's performance is great. We've had Mark Hamill. Like, there's not really been a bad Joker. Well, now we have a bad Joker. So,
have you watched the Scooby-Doo Batman crossover? That Joker sounds like somebody cut his tongue out. It's horrible.
I'm talking about big screen Jokers.
That was big. That was important enough. That was a historic event.
It was Scooby-Doo, gosh darn it. So
Adam West met Scooby. That's awesome.
we got John Cena and the Joker in Scooby-Doo. So The thing about and Kiss, don't forget Kiss. They will whore themselves out to anything. So the thing about Jared Leto's performance though is like, okay, he's a mobster, that's cool. But when I walked out, I was like, oh, he was just doing a really. While I was watching, I'm like, why is he doing this stupid like 1950s gangster imitation? Hey, baby, let's go get out of here. But
I
then,
always thought he was having an orgasm half the time. Like someone was like doing his stuff.
oh yeah, baby, we're gonna drive this out of the way. And though the thing that was like, I thought no. After a while, I think like, that's not goofy enough. He's playing Jim Carrey as the Mask doing a 1950s gangster imitation.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Now I want to see that.
Ooh, that'd be. Red, what do you think of Jared Leto's Joker?
If every Dark Knight Returns movie, Jim Carrey is totally perfect to play Joker.
Oh yeah.
But it was just kind of underwhelming, like all hell.
I agree with that.
Like he wasn't. It's so weird because I'm glad like he didn't have too much to do. I actually again like I think he fits in decently with what they're trying to do thematically with all the interpersonal relationships and stuff like that. They do an interesting twist on the Joker Harley relationship, but he doesn't do much of anything. Like I'm fine with the character not doing much of anything, but the problem is like in all his scenes he's just kind of like I'm wacky for 5 seconds, okay, then end scene. Like that's it.
Oh yeah.
He's just kind of like, did I mention I was crazy?
Did I mention I'm looking for Harley?
I'm the Joker.
Oh god, that's all he does half the film is just like,
I'm Joker.
by the way, I'm looking for, which he never does, and this pissed me off so much. He never does the Harley yell. That pissed me off because he's standing on a helicopter like yelling at her. He should have done that.
I for some strange reason near the end thought Joker was going to show up and just when Harley was tricking the Enchantress and just go Harley, kind of like just pop up. I don't know why. I would have loved to see that.
No, that would have been horrible because you have to do the Joker fake out death thing, which really worked. I did love that. Which like he's not dead. Come on.
I was like he'll be fine. It's just a minor little flesh wound.
I mean, he's been hit by a train before. It doesn't falling out of a burning helicopter isn't really gonna kill that guy. It's more like a paper cut.
He lived in the same town as this Batman. A plane is gonna hit him.
I was a bit sad that we couldn't see Joker and Batman interact with one another. That was a little disappointing, but that was.
I like that because it's such a kind of a precedent of you. It seems almost like we don't have the like homoerotic subtext Batman Joker relationship, and that's kind of interesting because this Joker. And I've seen people complain about this, like, oh, they don't seem to understand the relationship. I think they do understand it, and they're doing something different. And I like that, and I really want to see that in a full film. Because this Joker, because the idea is always Harley's always infatuated with Joker. Joker doesn't give a shit. Yet this Joker clearly does. And I really like that idea.
But this Joker caring is very inconsistent of how they establish the relationship. That's the problem I have.
Yeah.
If it's going to be a Bonnie and Clyde relationship, I mean, it's not really Joker and Harley, but that's okay. But, so, fine, this is their own version. Cool. The problem is they established that this guy abused and tortured her and turned her into this love slave. And then, oh, now I actually care about her. But there's no transition from Gear 1 to Gear 2. It's just, oh, I did this horrible thing to her, and then now, oh, we love each other. We're boyfriend and oh, she's my Harley. So
it's
him not
so weird. Like when he jumps after her, I don't know why he does that. And I like the idea of a Joker who would do that because it's not something we've seen before, and it makes his relationship with Batman infinitely more fascinating than we've seen before because we have a Joker who legitimately like has his world does not revolve around Batman, and that's really interesting. But I don't get why his world doesn't revolve around Batman.
Or at least what Harley did to make him like her. Like, what did she do? She had to do something, like, really brave or crazy.
She broke him out of the jail.
I don't know, I feel like it needs more than just break him out of jail.
Well, it's which, you know what sucks? We had deleted scenes. Again, scenes that were cut. Remember that set photo thing we had of her like talking to Joker at a gas station or something, like her in her regular clothes?
think
No,
I
I don't.
do.
Well, essentially, the idea seems to be like after he tortures her, because we had a set photo, we had a full video. We actually saw him like slap her and like yelling at her, and that after she like we actually saw another thing of her on a motorcycle as well prior to that scene at Ace Chemicals. Like this, it seems like what happened was she broke him out, and then he just left, and then she chased after him on a motorcycle or something and saved him, and he keeps yelling at her, and then I think that's why they go to Ace Chemicals. Like there's 2 scenes with her that are cut from after they break out of the out of Arkham and before Ace. It's really weird because clearly something happened in between there where he starts to actually fall for Harley, but you don't see it, and it's just strange.
Yeah, all the backstories for all these characters are really just hammered out fast.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like some things are missing. Like, I know I don't. I was confused at first until I read about the pink unicorn doll.
Oh yeah,
That was awkward. Oh yeah, Joker has like a completely different outfit in this. Like it seems like there's an entire day between uh these things. It's just I don't get like yeah, Joker's in a completely different outfit. Oh no, I think yeah. There's a scene with her having a gun to his head. That's just completely missing. At like a gas station or something. Like and I'm sending you guys those images. Yeah, it's weird. Like there's so much that's cut from this movie, and I don't get. Well, and there's stuff in the trailers that's cut. Like a lot of Joker scenes seem to get cut. There's that shot of him with like the burns and everything. That's gone.
yeah.
Oh yeah, like I was expecting that to be near the ending or something. Although it didn't till I knew about the fake out at the end. Like I don't know where this comes from.
Yeah, like there's just a lot of stuff that's completely missing. And like I don't know. Like again, like it seems like this was a genuinely like I bet that in the original cut, everything with Joker and Harley was probably really interesting and like a really cool character study of their relationship and stuff like that. And then instead they just cut all of it except for the comic book reference scenes.
I would probably bet. That.
I actually have a really big issue with the Harley Joker stuff.
Oh, interesting. Do tell.
The stuff that really, I didn't feel like I was watching somebody's vision of a Harley Joker romance. I feel like I was watching somebody who, and I've been really struggling to articulate this. So, and when me and Steve talked about this, I called it like secondhand knowledge, and the way he described it was, oh, so it's like David Ayer doesn't really know much about the Harley Joker relationship. He just knows that there is a relationship there, and then his 9-year-old who watches the animated series talked about it, explained it to him, and then he's just kind of going off of that explanation. There's a lack of understanding about these people. It just seems to be like, look it, she said Mr. J. Look it, she says Puddin'. Don't you know that from the animated series? Don't you know that about Harley? Oh, whoa, why don't you like it? It's just like the way it usually. So I felt like everything just felt so phony about it. It felt like they were all
the
just,
New 52.
It's like,
Look these. In fact, I just did a massive rant on that in one of our previous news videos when reviewing Scare stuff with how Tim Drake's being handled right now. It's like somebody heard people really like this character, and in fact, like with the spoiler to Robin relationship, it's like they heard that this was a thing that people cared about, so they brought it in, but don't get it at all, and don't get those characters at all, and they're just people like it's just a person named Tim Drake. It's not actually Tim Drake. It's like it's kind of that here, except I think Harley's accurate enough, but Joker is just off. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It's just there's no reason for it, and there might be, but it seems like this film just got like again. There's 3 scenes with Joker that are cut. Like what's even the point of the flashbacks if you're gonna cut that much? I almost feel like they should have just not done any Harley flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't understand the significance of the chase scene with the Batmobile and everything.
Also, there was a few scenes that felt weirdly edited, like the scene where Joker arrived at that facility area with his gang, the one where he gives them a little basket and explodes. So like he arrives, and then we cut, and then we don't deal with that again until we see.
Well, I guess the idea is just he. What was he doing there? Oh yeah, it was that they found out where they were being transported or whatever.
Um,
But yeah,
that was
so
weird.
I do love the touch of instead of shooting the guy, he gives him a gift basket that explodes.
Yeah,
I don't know why. That's just a very Joker thing. But I feel like he just feels like a guy in makeup who has green hair. He's a lot like Aspar Joker, where it's just a guy with green hair who's a serial killer.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
And with tattoos, exactly. They're just.
Hold on, I gotta add Connor. Sorry about that. We back, Connor?
Yes, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay. So, Connor, how about you lead us somewhere? I'm having trouble thinking of topics myself.
How about the most in-depth character arc, Killer Crocs?
Ooh.
He got all of though he had a decent joke here or there, I guess. I don't know why he was in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The makeup and everything was great.
Oh yeah, I love his makeup.
Oh, and but I keep coming back to this with Rick Flag. I know it was supposed to be Tom Hardy, and they had to recast really quickly. Why the fuck wasn't Scott Eastwood the one who played Rick?
I don't know.
Like you have him playing another military guy, and Scott Eastwood's I think a much better actor. Just give him that role.
Oh, Connor, are you back with us? Sorry.
Yeah, keep talking. I gotta go readjust the modem.
Okay.
Okay.
Ben was there.
Yeah, it's weird. Like Rick Flag. I didn't hate the stuff with Rick Flag. It's just he's not Rick Flag at all. And I know it doesn't have to be comic book, but the problem is everything that is with comic book Rick Flag would have fit a lot better because all that stuff with like family and everything's already there. With the fact that his father was the original person in charge of Task Force X and all that stuff with like Deadshot and his Bond kind of playing off the fact that it's like because he Deadshot always refers to him by like his brother's name and treats him as if it's his brother, and all of that stuff is there or like already for you to use. And instead they just do weird stuff with Deadshot, and then I feel like I didn't hate the idea of Rick Flag and Enchantress being in a relationship and that kind of being the crux of why he's doing what he's doing. But we needed more scenes of them to actually together, which is again another thing that was cut. There's that scene in the trailer where they're talking. There's at least one, maybe actually two scenes cut between those two.
Yep.
It's like again, like they're trying to make us care about something, but I have no idea what the hell's going on because scenes get cut.
Oh yeah.
Because there's that scene of them talking in the trailer with what?
Which two characters?
Rick Flag and Enchantress.
Oh, okay.
Because there was, you remember that scene in the trailer of him, like, oh, and he shoots stuff. He's a crocodile, and like they're talking. That's completely cut. Like clearly there was more scenes between those two characters. She just didn't feel like a character in the movie.
I thought Enchantress was the worst thing about this movie. I don't like Cara Delevingne as an actress particularly. I don't think her performance is any good here, and I think her character is vacuous.
If you can call it that.
Yeah, it's vacuous. There's nothing there, and I thought
and there's so much to build off of there.
There is, but the thing is, the relationship between the two of them is my least favorite of this whole thing because they are of all the relationships, they are the last relationship established, and they have absolutely no development into that. It's just they love each other. Okay, I don't know what he sees in her, and I don't know what she sees in him. So the whole tragedy element is not there. And when they're on the ground trying to find it, Rick Flag and Joel Kinnaman's performance isn't nuanced enough more than we got to do the mission. We don't get anything of I love this woman and I want to go save her and I want to do the mission. There's no duality there. It's just one note, and he's not. I think he's a fine actor, but I don't think he's as skilled enough of an actor to really pull off what needs to be there to make up for the lack of content.
Yeah, there needed to be like maybe more anxiety in his performance and everything. Like he didn't seem panicky. He seemed too calm and collected for somebody who's, apparently like freaking out.
Yeah. And okay, it's like he needs to be worried about his girlfriend, and he needs to do the job, and he has a rivalry with Deadshot. It's just trying to do too much with too little content and with an actor that I just don't think is not there yet.
Hmm. Interesting. I actually, Connor, before you got disconnected for a few seconds, I actually asked you, did you want to lead us into another direction with this review? I'm actually having trouble thinking of topics.
There's just so much here, but it's all scattered all over the place.
Well, just pick something. Or you were with Steve. How about you bring up a topic Steve brought up? Steve will be
Uh,
here with us in spirit, people.
um, it's weird. I think I like this movie less than Steve did. Like I hated this movie. So I want to talk about Enchantress. Let's just pull the band-aid right off because she sucks. She's really, really bad. I don't get her plan. I don't get the editing about her plan is really confusing too. So
You're right. I don't understand the plan. I just like magic vortex thingy.
She just
Um,
starts like teleporting and shit.
Mm-hmm.
okay, so I'm gonna try to explain what happened, and through explaining what happened, try to gather any kind of semblance of a plan. So she's like, "All right, I'm gonna go get my heart back." Okay, that makes sense. So she's like, she somehow knows where Amanda Waller sleeps. Okay, fine. I'll suspend my disbelief that much. Then she gets close to the briefcase that locked up. Okay, it makes sense. And then she's like, I'm gonna teleport to Amanda Waller's bathroom and grab my brother's totem. That was her bathroom, right? I'm gonna assume that was her bathroom.
Yeah.
No, there was computer monitors and stuff.
I mean, Amanda Waller seems like the kind of person who would have.
Well,
considered
yeah.
her bathroom.
It's like there's
I was like,
probably also a turret in there.
yeah, it's like Amanda Waller's like, oh, I got to get my evil on today. Got to put some Incubus shampoo in my hair today. But so she grabs the totem. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why she didn't do this earlier. And then she, so this is before or after the subway. So that's one explanation. But then there's also this explanation that there was something supernatural in the subways. We're never told what this is. I was hoping for like something at the end they would go like where Will Smith would go. There's one thing I don't understand. Flag. What's that? What's that? In his best Tom Hardy imitation. What's that? What I don't understand is what were you chasing in the subway to begin with?
It was
I don't know what it was, but it was something that hunted man. Dun dun dun. Set it for Martian Manhunter coming 2021. So the thing that bugged me though is so like we never get an explanation for what that was in the first place. Okay, fine.
It was the brother thing, right?
But it wasn't though, was it? Because
Yes, it was.
Was it because there's something in? Okay, wait. So let me get this
It's
straight.
the brother because he walks out of the into the subway, and then that's why they're at the subway. Is because he starts like collecting people into himself.
Okay. So that happened before. So that happened after. Okay, sorry. So then it went. She grabbed the Incubus shampoo. She gave it to somebody, and then that somebody just made it. Just combined themselves with a bunch of people. Then she went back to Rick Flag. Then Rick Flag's like, "There's something over in the subway." So then they jump to the subway, and then they're like, "I got this bomb, and I'm only having 2 seconds on it. I need you to teleport it over there." And then she doesn't teleport it over there. She just goes away with them. Then how
Yeah,
does
she just teleports to her brother, and then that's when he gives her like the new heart.
the new heart, right? But they still have
It's weird
her
because they say they treat it as if it's like consecutive scenes, but but like only until the fucking third act do they actually show us that it's been 3 days, and it's that was over the course of 3 days, and it's only in the corner of the screen.
Okay, me explaining that whole like thing of how they got Incubus and how she got free and all that, it is chopped up into 3 different scenes that are like 20 to 30 minutes apart from one another, and it's very confusing in how they edit it. Because I thought it was 2 different explanations.
Exactly. Yeah, it's weird as all hell.
Oh yeah, I was confused.
They really needed to just either have that be at the beginning, or maybe keep us in the dark a little bit more and just don't show us that it's Enchantress until the end.
maybe, but then how did but then they've already established that they're a dating thing. Then his girlfriend would have just disappeared out of
Yeah, so
nowhere.
then like maybe have him be a little anxious throughout the entire thing, and then reveal at the end, oh, that's why he's been this way. The problem is he's just acting like generic military man number 5.
Yeah, he's acting like Scott Eastwood. Oh yeah, did you remember Scott Eastwood was in this movie? Because I sure
Which yeah,
didn't.
that's what I was just telling Joel. It's like why wasn't he the one playing Rick Flag?
Yeah, and so, okay,
He would
so
have been
that's
better.
he would have. I mean, I don't hate Joel Kinnaman. Don't get me wrong, but this was obviously a role that was meant for Tom Hardy. That the shooting for The Revenant conveniently went on for a couple weeks too long, and then all of a sudden he couldn't be in the role. He couldn't be in the movie. So
I'm so
there's
curious to learn everything about this movie's production.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
'cause,
gonna be
like,
fascinating. They need to make a book or something.
Tom Hardy was supposed to be Rick Flag, but the shooting for The Revenant went on long because they couldn't find any snow anywhere. Um, and that, of course, led to Leonardo DiCaprio making a speech at the Oscars. But what happened was,
About snow?
yeah, well, the thing is, like, they were going to shoot in, like, some place during the wintertime, but then there was, like, no snow, so they had to, like, completely reschedule everything and go to a new location. And that led to a couple of, like, weeks, or maybe, I think it was a couple of months, actually. The Revenant went on shooting for too long. And so Tom Hardy was like, yeah, well, because I was already committed to The Revenant and I wanted to get nominated for an Oscar, I couldn't do Suicide Squad anymore, which is a little convenient if you ask me. But I'll buy Tom Hardy's explanation because I trust Tom. And then so they brought Joel Kinnaman, whose biggest claim to fame that he was RoboCop in the 2014 remake of RoboCop. So there's also one more thing that's a little weird. So they had a bomb that had 2 seconds on it, and she was supposed to teleport the bomb, and then she doesn't teleport it, but there's still 1 second left on the bomb because they bring that bomb back at the end of the movie. And if Viola Davis still has the heart of Enchantress, why doesn't but she's given a surrogate heart? Wouldn't that first heart still harm her? Because if it doesn't harm, isn't like this whole thing is so
no,
convoluted.
because
It
again,
doesn't make sense.
it's really weirdly explained. But you see Waller like hitting the heart, and
Yeah.
she's in pain, and then the brother gives her the new heart, and then it stops hurting her.
Okay, but then
It
still
only
the same
hurts her
person?
again once the brother's dead, but they don't explain it well.
I didn't know what that brother was doing, to be honest. Like, I thought
Like essentially, like he gives her his powers, and then it only hurts her again once his powers are gone.
Okay, yeah, but so they're kind of conjoined at that point. But is she even still the Enchantress at that point? Like, what part of her is still her?
Well, she's still
the
the
thing that-
Enchantress, I guess, but like in a pure godlike form. I'm guessing that's what she used to look like before she became all decrepit. I guess.
That's
Yeah.
weird. Like, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it also kind of doesn't. And more specificity would have made sense. And I think in something that was more focused, that centered around like 2 or 3 characters, that had everyone else kind of like on the back burner, maybe it would have worked. But the thing is, this movie is simultaneously trying to focus on too many characters while also keeping too many characters while simultaneously keeping so many characters on the back burner.
Oh, agreed. I feel like
Mhm.
you need like you can have an ensemble cast, but I think you should like focus like maybe on not Will Smith, not Deadshot Will Smith, El Diablo,
Smith shot.
Smith Shot,
Smith Shot.
El Diablo, and Harley. Like those are like your trinity almost.
And Rick Flag. They should have cut Croc. I love Boomerang, but he probably shouldn't have been in the film. It sucks to say. I loved Katana, so I don't want her to be axed from the film. But what's weird is Boomerang and Croc have no point in the entire thematic points of the film. Like at least Katana has a thematic purpose. The problem is it's just disjointed as all hell because it doesn't come in until like last second.
My husband is in the sword.
And the problem is she's only thematic
Yeah.
purpose. She has no functional purpose in the plot.
Exactly, and again, you have such an easy out there with the Soul Taker sword will give us an edge. That is why she's here. But no, she's just there because reasons.
And her husband's apparently in the soul sword.
But yeah, that's always the way.
She's like,
And her
hey,
husband's a sword. It happens.
you cross me, she's gonna kill you. But gee, I thought we already had something that would blow our minds out if we already crossed you. Well, she's a popular DC character. Shut up.
And again, it would have been so freaking easy to just say, instead of her being like collateral, just have it be, like maybe, he lies to them, and the moment they see the supernatural stuff, it's like, oh, that's what's. But no, she's just like, again, you have a character who has supernatural roots going up against supernatural stuff. Just have that, like it's almost like it's a coincidence that they picked. It's like they picked a character out of a hat who just happened to actually have a coincidental connection to magic.
Yeah.
And then they didn't even they forgot that it was magic, and then they just like last minute were like, oh yeah, she has magic.
I was talking with Steve, and he brought this up. Why does this need to be a Suicide Squad mission?
Because Waller coincidentally formed them like 5 minutes before this happened.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm going to go into like I have just a whole issue about this being a Suicide Squad movie. Now, Steve pointed this out to me, where it's like the whole point of the Suicide Squad. They even say it in this movie is they're a great out. We send them on these impossible missions, and if it goes sour, then fine, we can just throw them under the bus because they're bad guys. But if it goes well, sweet, we can cut a deal with them. But then we still have leverage over them because they're still criminals. Awesome. But the thing is, they have militia with them the whole time.
Exactly. It like when I saw like the soldiers, I'm like, wait, but why are the soldiers in the? I'm like, oh, are they gonna just drop the? Wait, why are they getting out of the plane with them? Why are they getting out of the thing with them? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
I mean, I get Rick being there, but why the hell was Scott Eastman's character there? Why was other unnamed soldiers who really should like? Why would you? And have to even make a point of Waller not wanting anyone else there when she shoots her own people, which was a brilliant moment.
Oh, really? I hated that moment, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Really? When she shoots her own people?
Yeah, because it makes no sense for her character in this movie.
But it's Waller. Because they're... Well, I guess with the whole soldier thing that it doesn't make sense, yeah.
Because here's my thing when it comes to Waller in this movie. She is somebody who's so good at making sure that she gets her dirty work. Her dirty work is blood on somebody else's hands. That's why I've always kind of liked it, where she wants somebody dead. She's not going to do it herself. She's going to have somebody else do it and then hold them on a leash because now they've killed somebody. She likes to play mind games like that, and that's kind of the appeal of Amanda Waller. So she just like straight up murders 4 or 5 people, and then it's played for laughs.
It really should have been. It should have been. Yeah, you're right. It would have been much better if she told Rick to do it.
Yeah,
or Deadshot, because Deadshot doesn't kill civilians.
She's like,
in fact, it would have been much better if she told them to do it. They don't, and then she does it, just because she can't use them. Like, instead, she just picks up a gun and shoots it. Yeah, that's really out of character for her.
And then I didn't like how the movie played it, where it was like, oh, she's a bad person. Oh, yuck, yuck, yuck.
Oh yeah, that moment was absolute crap. It's like, especially because Rick Flag should not have reacted that way.
She's a bad lady.
He's just like, you get used to it. Like, no, I don't buy that Rick Flag is somebody who would get used to that.
And furthermore, talking about, like, I don't get why the Suicide Squad is going on this mission. Their mission, as they know it, is just to go rescue somebody. That's all it is. That's their mission. And then it turns into, we got to save the world via circumstance. And speaking of circumstance, everyone in this movie only has to do one functional thing, and it isn't functional from a plan standpoint. Like, I've read plenty of books, like read any of the Parker books. They'll assemble a team, and each person on that team is only there to serve a single function from when the characters are hatching a plan. That's cool. The problem is, in this movie, the only reason Slipknot's here is to die. The only reason Captain Boomerang is here is because at one point he has to use his Batman Arkham City boomerang to have a video camera to get a feed on the Enchantress. But that wasn't a part of the plan. That was just there via circumstance of the plot and a contrivance. Like, there's so many things like that. Why is Killer Croc here? Because he'll have to swim underwater. I mean, they didn't know he'd have to swim underwater when they hatched this plan. He's just doing it because, hey, it's convenient for the plot. It's so contrived. And this is happening all the time. Why is Margot Robbie here? Why is Harley Quinn even on the Suicide Squad? That's never made any sense to me. Why? Well, because she sells toys. She
Exactly.
sells
Well,
like,
just people like that character for reasons to stuff. Why is Deadshot there? Why? Again, Katana has an easy reason to be there, and they don't do it.
yeah. Deadshot makes sense. Oh, he's a great marksman. He never misses. Okay, great. That's a perfectly valid reason to have somebody there. Why is like El Diablo? He burns stuff. Okay, cool.
It should have just been like Deadshot, El Diablo, freaking like Gunhawk, Black Spider, and like the militia kind of criminals.
Yeah, but if you're already doing that, then why don't you just assemble a team of militia?
Exactly. I mean, Rick Flag even says, "Give me like a day, and I can get you a bunch of soldiers. Like just use soldiers."
Why don't they just go all metahumans? This premise. Here's the thing about Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is an awesome premise. The problem is, like, this premise is like within the context of this movie is so problematic.
Yeah. Also, something I realized about Harley Quinn's Joker in this movie, they made her out to be even crazier than the actual Joker. Like, kind of, it's odd. I don't know.
Yeah, except they immediately contradict that though. They say she's crazier than the Joker and fearless. And then the very next thing we see is they're driving in a car, and Joker's like, "I'm gonna drive this off of the cliff, Thelma and Louise style, baby." And she's like, "No!" And then they crash over the edge. I thought she was fearless.
She did try to stab Batman in the water, though. That was creepy. Yeah, that was just weird. Let's see. What else did I want to bring up? What did you actually think of El Diablo, Connor?
Jay Hernandez does a really good job. I think he brings a restraint with his performance. I like how understated he is. I like that even though he has tattoos all over his face, he's still acting with his body. It's something that I wish this movie had more of. He has a humanity about him. The problem is in the script, his character arc is so contrived from Act 1 to Act 2 to Act 3. And that by the end, I don't buy that, he's willing to consider the Suicide Squad his new family. I don't buy that he's just willing to make this big decision and get over certain things in his life that quickly because, the script is moving too fast. But I think that Jay Hernandez is really giving it all he's got, and then he turns into a big stupid fire monster at the end, which was the stupidest thing ever.
That made no sense.
It was like, "Let's go now!" Like, and then he's like shooting fire, and it was like one of those moments where everyone in the audience is supposed to go, "Whoa, yeah!" But it was never established, and it looks ridiculous. The special
Why
effects,
is he an Aztec?
I don't know. Incubus looked ridiculous. Enchantress looked ridiculous. And El Diablo Fire Demon thing looked about 4 times as ridiculous as those two combined.
Yeah.
Like what? How does he become a giant? What? He's not even inside the fire. He
turns into it.
This movie had a lot of testosterone, I can tell you that much.
It's like he's. I'm trying to like. It's almost like he's. I'm trying to think of what character. I don't know. Like I've never seen something work that weird. Well, I guess he's almost like Etrigan, in a weird way. Like what the fuck? He just becomes Etrigan. In fact, that would have been 10 times cooler if Jason Blood was just in the background the entire time. Like, why some asshole with a trench coat here, and then all of a sudden he becomes Etrigan? That'd be cool.
That would have been awesome. I love Etrigan. They should have brought Etrigan in.
Yeah, we should get an Etrigan film.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Like Etrigan and Spectre just go on a road trip together, and they just like take down supernatural threats across the country.
And then they pick up a hitchhiking John Constantine at one point. Like, that'd be great.
No. They're putting a team together, and they walk into a bar, and they're like, "Hi, I'm Jason Blood, and I'm Jim Corrigan. Go fuck yourselves." And then it's like the Wolverine cameo.
Yeah. And then they can have a little theme song. Etrigan Inspector driving through the country.
We just saved DC.
Yeah, we did. At this point, it's like 3 strikes, DC.
I know.
You have made 3 movies, and the best one was Man of Steel. Like, that's not an accomplishment.
Oh, I am so curious. What? I'm curious first of all how much money this movie makes.
That's
Um,
impressive, though.
I know that's kind of in a sad way. I'm curious what they do next. Like they're in trouble. They are in.
And what sucks is this universe is kind of slightly starting to actually fit together. Like, I like the universe of this movie from the bits we see of it. It's almost like this would
Really,
work better with just tie-ins and stuff.
maybe. Like, here's the thing. I think there's a great movie to be had in a concept like Suicide Squad. There's a great premise to be had there, and I think even David Ayer might be the guy to do that. The thing is, I think, and I'm sorry, I have to disagree with you. I think it being a part of the universe is what hinders it the most. Um, because we have this big world-ending disaster, and we have cameos from the Flash and Batman as it is. Why aren't they here to stop
Oh,
it?
that was so jarring with the fact that Flash shows up and then doesn't show up later. Yeah,
Yeah,
later. So
because
weird.
I mean, I was talking with Steve, and I'm bringing this up again, but because me and Steve talked about this at length, but he said that like, and I agree with him that like in Captain America: Winter Soldier, Iron Man's not showing up to save uh, uh, Captain
The
America,
president.
yeah, the president. The Hulk's not saving the president in Iron Man 3. Like these aren't here. But why not? Well, because it's an Iron Man movie. Shut up. It's a Captain America movie. Shut up. And okay, fine. But when you establish your movie with cameos with Batman and the Flash, and to not bring them out later, that's poor storytelling.
And the fact that
And
at the end they acknowledged that Bruce was aware the entire time.
yeah, that oh my
That
god,
was that I liked that end credit scene, like just because of the performances, but I was like, wait, what? He
I
knew
was
and didn't
so
help?
yeah, I had so many issues with that and a mid-credit scene. Um, uh, I don't know. I feel like Ben Affleck's been taking the George Lucas school of acting, faster, more intense. But
So you're against the universe from the entire institution of the universe, then?
I mean, as far as this movie goes, like if you're gonna make the Suicide Squad, like just make a Suicide Squad movie. I don't want to have a world-ending disaster in the inaugural adventure of the Suicide Squad is problematic in terms of a franchise standpoint and as far as just basic storytelling standpoint.
Oh yeah, like
Hmm.
that's the problem with Green Lantern, from what I hear. They start with the
Yeah.
big villains first. That's why you gotta start with the
It,
small
it,
ones.
I really, I just do not want any more DC shared universe films. Like, especially because the big film thing I want, which will never happen if this whole shared universe craze keeps going, is something set in the Golden Age. But
Oh,
I already have a trilogy idea planned out where you have a Golden Age Batman film, a Golden Age Superman film, and then it all convenes into a JSA film. Be
ooh.
perfect. And they're never make it until this stupid shared universe thing finally goes down. And they're in fact, you could do a shared universe set in the past. That'd be awesome.
I think, as much as I'd love to see that, that'd probably be like a Netflix thing.
Yeah, but imagine like a Red Tornado Netflix series with like Ma
Ooh,
Uncle. That'd be so cool.
yeah.
Just an like just like like middle-aged overweight woman with a pot on her head beating up supervillains.
I actually have want to add something.
DC, I hope you're listening, DC. We're
This is
giving you gold.
amazing.
Take notes. Something I would have done, just to fix the problem with Suicide Squad. I don't know how people feel about this movie. I just would have made it a live action version of Assault on Arkham almost. Just do that. That worked.
That
Well,
could
it worked for
have.
me. I don't know about everybody
I've
else.
never seen Assault on Arkham, but from what I understand, it's just a Suicide Squad movie. We're trying to.
Yeah, just Suicide Squad going into Arkham and trying to stop Joker from doing evil plot.
Wasn't it Riddler?
Oh yeah, it was Riddler. It was Riddler, but then Joker kind of just took it over by the end.
Well, yeah, because it's a story that Joker is able to be in, therefore he must be in it, right?
Yeah. Um. Uh. I. Um. I still have an issue. Like even like all these like basic fundamental storytelling issues. I just don't think I can turn my brain off to enjoy this movie. The action is dull. It's lifeless. It's poorly filmed. It's poorly edited.
Oh
And
yeah, the
like,
fight in the John F. Ostrander building, which that was a nice reference. Like the fight in that building right after Harley goes up the elevator, like not in the elevator, but after they're already upstairs, is just so weirdly edited. Where like somebody will throw a punch and then it will like cut to somebody else. Like, you won't even see the impact or anything. It's really lackluster.
And even the big final fight where there's like the water going everywhere, like that was potentially visually striking. But because all the color is drained out, like if you had more of like a blue scale going on in the water flying around and all the energy flying around that, then their silhouettes would have popped out more, and I would have been able to really kind of get a sense in a style, and I would have been able to appreciate that stylistic choice more. But because the color palette's so bland, then that whole fight was dull. It's murky. I couldn't tell what was going on a couple of times.
All this really just makes me curious if, all that stuff about Jeff Johns is now president of DC Studios is not going to affect anything of these next few movies going forward.
What do you mean?
Oh, because now they're trying to actually make DC Films their own studio. Because with Man of Steel, BVS, and most of Suicide Squad, it was directly Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but I don't know about Johns being necessarily something that would harm that. I mean, I don't love Johns' work, but I don't know. I mean,
well, it's the difference between what Disney and Warner Bros. Does. Disney has their.
But I don't get why Jeff Johns being part of that is necessarily the problem. I'm not the biggest fan of him.
No, I'm not saying it's part of the problem. I'm just saying there's a new structure now. Or there's this. It's now Warner Brothers. Jeff.
Well,
Johns,
there finally is a structure, and maybe that will help.
Well,
I don't know.
That's the weird thing is that I feel like
Snyder's tentacles are still all over this shit.
Well, another problem I have is that I don't feel like the structure has been institutionalized yet, same way it does in other films. Like with Marvel, it's like there's already a studio. There's been a studio forever. Like Lucasfilm, there's always been a Lucasfilm they have traditions. They have, a hierarchy. And yeah, they report to Disney now, but they're still Lucasfilm Studios. Like, they just created this position for Jeff Johns, and I don't know if the structure has been institutionalized enough. You understand what I'm saying, Connor, Red?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know where they can go from here is the thing.
It's like they have to just plow through it at this point.
Oh,
I got one more thing to ask. Hey, Connor, did you find it kind of creepy when the Enchantress was showing them what they wanted, and they showed Harley Quinn and Joker as normal people, married, with kids?
That
was just
not particularly.
I don't know. That fascinated me for some reason. Maybe
it is interesting. Like they do foreshadow that, where she somebody mentions the word normal, and she kind of freaks out about it. So that was set up there. I just had a problem with the whole them all seeing what they want, or Enchantress showing them everything, because I think that it I don't think it had earned it at that point, because I don't understand how Enchantress is going to show them the way, so to speak, and I don't think these characters have been developed enough for me to really care about what they want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Down the fact that, again, with Enchantress is pretty clearly just bullface lying. Or is she? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's, again, her character is so inconcrete that we don't know what she'll give, what she necessarily wants. Like, I don't know what she wants. So she wants to take over the world? Why? I don't know.
Because they were worshipped once, and she wants to build a machine, apparently?
I don't
get Is it a machine, or is it just a big spell?
I think it's just a giant-ass laser. Apparently lightning is a machine. So that makes sense. I just don't know what she's even trying to do. I mean, was there supposed to be a magic versus technology thing there? I honestly just do not know.
There's no discussion about that, so it is hard to tell. And it was so strange, because there's the moment where it goes from just a story where it's just them trying to take these people on, and they're fighting a vague threat, but then it's revealed that it's a world-ending threat, and we're still asking each other questions about what she wanted. So I've seen the movie, and the whole threat and the whole conflict is so vague that the whole sense of urgency, the stakes, everything just gets washed out of it.
Mhm. It really just should not have been a world-ending thing.
I'm not worried about Wonder Woman. That probably will be a world-ending thing too.
Well, we're
Uh,
3 for 3 at this point, so
well, at least we won't. At least if it's a world-ending thing, it won't feel too overhyped. Or at least I don't know if they would ever try and do that though, because I mean, it's set in World War I. Clearly, the world is still here. I don't know if they attempt that, especially because we don't even know if there is a magical threat involved.
yeah. I uh, I'm really curious to see where this goes because there's been no sense of escalation in this universe. We have alien invasion, where two superpowered people just punch each other into the ground and just smash and threaten to destroy the world. Then we have
When the entire world almost gets terraformed. Then, giant-ass monster who
then we
does
have
things for reasons and stuff.
we have Cave Troll from Lord of the Rings got stuck in a blender with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and then he tried to save the world. And then now
And that
we
thing
have
from Goonies.
the thing from Sloth.
Exactly.
And not Lex Luthor.
Yeah, and then in this one, a stupid like Aztec witch is like, I'm gonna take over
That
the
stupid
world.
witch.
I'm gonna blow stuff up. The second I saw like lightning like just smashing the what are they called, aircraft carriers in half, I remember I said out loud like, oh my gosh, this sucks. Like, I don't think anybody heard me because that scene is so loud, but I remember saying those because I was just so irritated by it. And to furthermore go into what I just like, there's just a lot of editing snafus. Like at one point, they're just walking down the street, and then inexplicably, Harley Quinn takes her bat and smashes a pane of glass and grabs a purse, and Rick Flag is like, "What's the matter with you people?" And then she's like, "We're bad guys. It's what we do."
You delivered that better than she did.
We're bad guys. What we do. There's also a lot of weird talking, like, there's lots of swearing and like lots of testosterone.
Yeah, and I'll get to that in a second because that is part of Ayer's style. But the thing is, like, that's immediately followed up by Will Smith being all introspective and looking through the glass at the jacket that his daughter wore.
Mm-hmm.
Which is convenient. Like, they're incredibly poor, but apparently they also have that exact same jacket. They like, what?
Yeah, but I mean, he made like $2 million on a hit. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
But like that kind of thing is fine.
Oh, that was linear?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know where these scenes take place with the flashbacks, because half of them take place before.
But the thing is,
like, what's with the random shot of Harley and Joker in the full costume? Just happens.
I don't know, but the thing is, the thing I was getting at was we like that's supposed to happen as a response, like they're walking by a mall or a shopping store. The thing is, shouldn't those two shots have been reversed? Have a dramatic setup with Will Smith looking at the clothes behind the glass, and then Harley Quinn noticing that, and then seeing something she likes, and then having a comedic payoff where she smashes the glass. Shouldn't that
would be decent?
Yeah, like that makes sense from an editing standpoint. The way it is, it's like this out of nowhere cheap laugh, and then followed up by something introspective.
Do you think
like
editing
it's so jarring and awkward?
Do you think editing is this movie's greatest downfall?
Maybe.
Warner Brothers says.
Well, yeah. Warner Brothers is editing. I was just curious, Connor, because I know a lot of films that can be saved from just good editing.
I know. In fact, I am convinced you could take the movie Tomorrowland, not add any footage, just rearrange scenes, and it would be a great movie.
Ooh, it's interesting. I'd love to see a fan edit of that. Where do we?
I would love to pitch it to somebody, but
Connor, you wanted to go on David Ayer's style of like testosterone, and showing Harley Quinn trying to put on her clothes.
Okay, that second part, I'm not gonna be able to defend that because it is just it's Margot Robbie. She looks like Margot Robbie. She's not hard on the eyes at all. I love it, but the thing is, it's just this is kind of going into what we were talking about at the beginning. So the Joker uses Harley Quinn as an object. He uses her as a tool to get what he wants. whether that be a part in his plan or sexually or whatever, right? That's what he uses her for.
Right.
And he's despicable because of it. We're not supposed to like him. But now all Harley Quinn is in this movie is just motivation for everyone else. And that really bugs me. Somehow, like Will Smith's like, "Well, that's Margot Robbie. You know, she looks like Margot Robbie, so she's pretty hot. So I gotta, be all nice to her. I gotta use. She's got to be my motivation." At one point, Jai Courtney like mentions like, I don't like it that they never really delve into Harley Quinn outside of what she looks like, and that really annoys me because Harley Quinn has never been a character that's ever interested me. I've never gotten that character. I've never gotten the appeal for her. I just don't get her.
Agreed. I really don't like her.
And there was a chance to do that, but all they do is everyone's just objectifying her and using her as motivation. And the camera's always leering at her butt cheeks. And the thing is, we're not, that. But when the Joker does it, it's despicable. But when these characters do it, it's painted as all right because they're the good guys. And I don't like that. And there's a difference between they're bad guys, but they're being forced to do the good thing, and then the camera treating them as sympathetic about certain things when they're being just as bad as other people being bad, but when the other people doing it are the Joker, like, oh, they're bad, but when they do it, it's good because reasons. I don't. That's so problematic and iffy with me.
And even just from a character perspective, I don't get why Deadshot or Smith Shot all of a sudden is friends with Harley, and I'm glad. I don't think that they necessarily were doing a relationship between them, which was good, but still, I don't get why he gives a shit and doesn't shoot her.
Yeah, and that's another one of those things where, oh man, if only Confused Matthew was still making video reviews. Like there are so many. Oh, and then this happens. Oh, I'm sorry. That's somebody who wasn't retarded would have done. Moments. There are so many moments like what Confused Matthew would have like just torn this apart.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had like a Confused Matthew moments with these movies where like he picks out his gun and he's like, and then he shoots the Joker. Oh wait, no. That's what someone who wasn't retarded would have done. He just says he misses because payoff. And then Amanda Waller says, "All right, shoot him out of the sky." Hey, Amanda Waller. Why didn't you do that earlier?
It's like, why didn't you kill like 15 birds with one stone? No, that'd be
yeah,
too
that scene
simple.
was disappointing. Like
She did that.
Also, how did those I know this just randomly popped into my head. How do those villain guys shoot if they don't have faces?
that's a good question.
I don't
got
know
a
why that just
question
showed up
for
in
you.
my head. Just why?
Oh yeah, like that helicopter scene with the Joker. I felt like that was a scene that could have been so milked out and so dramatic and just so exciting for me to watch, and yet I feel like, yeah, nope, it's over. Joker crashes. He did.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How come the Enchantress wants her heart back when she knows it'll kill her?
That's a good question too.
I think the idea is that like once she gets her heart back, it can't. Hold on. How did Rick get the heart? I keep forgetting that. How did he get the heart at the end when he crushes it?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
Because they put it back into her.
Yeah, they put it back into her, and then they punch it out of her, I think, or something. They blow
Yeah,
something up.
No. I think what happens is
fist.
once they kill the brother. Oh yeah, they explode that thing and then it goes flying out, and then he picks it up. Okay.
But I thought it was in her, not in him.
Yeah, like they throw the no. It's after her brother gets destroyed and she's losing her power, so she only has the heart. Is the thing. Like I think the idea is like she had a failsafe, which was her brother. Then they threw the explosive. Deadshot shot it with that really on the nose love and the gun. We get it. Okay, we get it.
Oh yeah.
And then he fires and blows up the thing, and then I think it like flies out of her or something, and then Rick like picks it up.
That final fight scene was so over the top. Like, you got Killer Croc ready to make a football play, and then you got Deadshot ready to fire. Like,
I mean, I do like how they're interchanging. Like, I did like the fact they were kind of playing off each other decently, but at the same time, we're kind of getting in each other's way a little bit. Like, that was okay. I don't get why Croc is there again all of a sudden. Again, Scott Eastwood's character dies and nobody cares.
Oh, that was Scott Eastwood. Oh, who cares? Like, you just killed Clint Eastwood's son. Oh.
It's like, oh man, it would have been so great if at the end and she just gets shot through the head, and you just hear, "You just made my day." It's like, yeah, just Clint Eastwood shows up and kills everybody. That'd be amazing.
Wasn't that
You killed my son. Bam, bam, bam.
wasn't he that Clint Eastwood's
This
son
character
rumored?
from Gran Torino shows up.
Wasn't Clint Eastwood's son rumored to be Dick Grayson? Or was I-
Yeah, because it's stupid Agent 37 shit. Because fucking
Good thing that
DCU.
Good thing that didn't happen.
We're still feeling the after effects of that crap. I don't even hate Grayson, but goddamn DCU.
Wait, DC.
Why?
You.
Oh god.
You.
We got the DCCWU, we got the DCEU, we got the DCYOU.
They like the U.
Thank God we got rid of that.
They love U's and they love 52s.
They love the ooze.
DC, U's and 52.
Oh, I love it.
That should be the name of the history of DC Comics.
And on Dan Dido's business cards.
Hey, I'm Dan DiDio. We love comics over here at DC Comics. It's all about our characters. We love them. They're the best. They're the best in the world. Buy our comics.
It's like ask him something about DC. Well, shut up. It's like, yeah, that guy's just hilarious to watch in interviews. Not because he's actually funny, but it's so fun to make fun of him. It's like with Quesada.
Oh, Joe Quesada. What a douche.
How about Joel has no idea what we're talking about?
No, I don't. No, I do not.
Dan
You're
DiDio-
lucky. You're really lucky.
No. I'm just trying to think
Dan-
of other topics to think of. Like this movie, just so all over the place, and yet still probably more coherent than Batman vs Superman.
It was nice to see the Wonder Woman trailer on the big screen and that new Nolan film.
I
trailers.
saw the Nolan film. I didn't see the Wonder Woman trailer.
And I saw neither. I didn't see the Dunkirk trailer till after I got home.
Well, I saw it in the theaters, and I was like, I want to see that movie.
It looks really good.
Oh yeah.
The Wonder Woman thing is weird because it's like it's like they re-edited the trailer and like cut like maybe 20 seconds out. Like it's not much. It's just 20 seconds are cut out.
Of the Wonder Woman trailer?
Yeah, like Jigsaw face person isn't there, and that's about it. Like it's weird.
Well,
They
that's
did
the
the same thing
thing.
with Rogue One. It's like 5 seconds are cut out.
Really, I didn't notice.
Well, there's an interesting contract that movie theaters have with studios now about trailers, where and then they start this weird deal. So trailers aren't allowed to be longer than like 3 minutes when they're showing it in a trailer, like before a movie. But each studio can make one exception each year. I know it's a really weird thing that they made, but they want to have more previews before their movies, but they only want to have 15 to 20 minutes of previews before movies. So if you limit them to 3 minutes each, then you get 5 to 6 previews before each movie.
Also, Matt Lantner, who voices Anakin in Clone Wars, is doing a time travel show with the Hindenburg.
Ooh.
That might be fun.
Oh,
Did you
nice.
watch? Was that on First Look or something before you went?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
God.
that.
I should just stop going to theaters early because it's so boring. It's like I don't care if I don't get a good seat. Just I'm not gonna watch another freaking trailer for some stupid thing. Well, I don't know. It's like the Hindenburg. Maybe I'll watch that.
I saw an interesting series about Last Survivor, where all of Congress and the president and the cabinet all die, and that one guy who's supposed to be alive survives to become president.
Of
Yeah.
what?
United
Well,
States.
But there's no United States.
No. It's there's actually a law where during the State of the Union, where everybody shows up, one guy from the cabinet is supposed to go into hiding, go into a bunker in case something happens. And if everybody dies, he's become president of the United States. It's sort of it keeps the government running.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's just the government that gets destroyed?
The president, the cabinet, the Supreme Court, and the Congress. All the bureaucracy stays alive. But yeah, we got off topic.
Well, that's
But-
we're doing the Linkara thing. Like when you run out of topics, just talk about the trailers.
But no, it's funny. I wanted to say this. Whenever me and Spencer, my twin brother, and I go see a movies, and we'll show up right as First Look's wrapping up. I'll turn to Spencer, I'm like, Spencer, how could you? How did we not make it in time for First Look? I can't believe it.
I've seen some. I've seen some First Look a lot. My time.
I watched way too many movies. Like I've seen about 100 movies this year so far, and I think I've never watched any previews. Like I mean, I have, but I don't watch a whole lot of previews because I'm just not a trailer guy. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
I'm not much of a trailer person, but this is like the first movie I've had to pay for in forever. I'm on vacation right now in good old Lake Tahoe, uh, on the border of Nevada and California, and I work at a movie theater, so I usually just go see movies for free. This is the first movie I had to pay for in a long time.
It's Suicide, and it's a film you didn't like.
Oh, that's sad. My theater was actually pretty full, strangely. A lot of young guys.
Oh, mine was too.
I'm so
Yeah, it was better than BVS at least, because like there was in my showing of BVS there was probably 40 people tops.
I thought mine was pretty full.
Wow.
I thought
It was really bad. I don't think there was a single row that was fully filled. And to be fair, I wanted a 6 o'clock showing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Does
yeah,
anybody know how much budget this movie took to make? Like, are we talking about Batman?
it has to make 800 million.
Okay,
Yeah.
I heard it right now. It made 20.7 million right now.
They did that on its Thursday night screenings. It made over $20 million, which is really good. So
I'm curious to see what the drop will be, if there is one.
Hopefully,
I hope this film
I mean-
does well.
I mean, I have morbid curiosity. Like, gee, do you think it'll drop more or less than the Batman versus Superman 70%?
Oh, I don't know.
Like,
it was 175 million was the budget.
like I don't
How
think-
does it have to make 800 then?
I'm guessing from marketing stuff.
Marketing. Wow.
I mean, like half of the BVS like cost for that film to was budget.
Wow, that's insane. Because that 175 doesn't factor in marketing costs, but X-Men Apocalypse cost exactly the same amount of money, but it didn't need to make nearly as much to break even.
Well, I mean, they did just have 2 failures in a row. Well, 1 failure. I guess Man of Steel did actually pretty damn well.
I mean, okay, Man of Steel made money. It did. But it also wasn't the financial juggernaut that the studio had hoped.
it wasn't making that Force Awakens money.
Yeah, it wasn't making Dark Knight Rises money, so it was considered a bit of a disappointment, which is weird because it's like the way the studios were behaved to the response of Man of Steel was like, oh my gosh, it didn't make as much money as a Christopher Nolan Man movie. This is weird. What do we do now? What do we do now?
410 million for Batman v Superman. Huh.
It's so weird that I always find it weird how. I get that they might have been worried about the reaction to Man of Steel, but I'm just surprised they never just decided to go just straight on Man of Steel 2. I think that would have saved them, if you ask me personally. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that could have been just as bad. Man of Steel 2 would have been, but I don't know.
I just don't think Zack Snyder was the guy to have as at the cornerstone of your cinematic universe. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
and look, as I think Man of Steel is a bad movie, and I think Batman vs Superman is a terrible movie. But the thing is, at least those movies are fascinating in how they're bad. I saw Batman vs Superman 3 times in the theaters. Like, it was fascinating in the ways it failed. The ways to dissect it, the ways, and it looked beautiful aesthetically. Like the cinematography is excellent, the costumes are excellent. But this movie, I have no interest in ever seeing this movie ever again.
Okay.
It's kind of a nothing film.
Yeah.
My response is about as strong as watching Warcraft. It was just walking out of it. I thought, well, what's the point of this? And I like with Warcraft, I walked out of that movie just arms a flailing, and then with this one, I had to walk back to the house that we're renting for vacation, and or renting, is that the right way to put it? Renting,
Leasing?
not leasing. It's not
Borrowing.
borrow. Either way, anyways, whatever the correct terminology is, like I walked about a mile back to our vacation spot, and the whole time I'm just thinking, well, what was the point of that? Why did that happen? Why was it so convoluted? Why was the music choices so on the nose and obnoxious? Why was these characters
Oh,
so
book. You booked it.
Oh.
booked?
That's the word.
Yeah, there we go. That's a better
Knew
word.
there was a word for that.
So I just had all of these thoughts jogging in my mind. So yeah, I didn't like this movie
I'm
at
so
all. I
curious.
watched it alone and wish I wanted to leave, and I wish I would have gotten a refund for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what post Justice League look like though if they keep going with this. Especially since
Hopefully it's just Zack Snyder crying in a corner after being fired.
Was he fired?
What?
he probably not yet. No, he's directing Justice
No,
League.
like after Justice League. That's what I hope.
Oh man, I really hope so.
That'd be a beautiful image. I would want that as my wallpaper. Just Zack Snyder crying.
We have 2 movies of the Snyderverse before it finally transitions into probably the Affleck verse. I'm gonna call it that.
That'd be awesome if we have like the Affleck, because I think I am still excited for the solo Batman film because Ben's still amazing in this role. Just
DC can't do it's their credibility is downhill. You know that, right?
yeah. Also, we got confirmation that there is a Robin who is dead instead of just something happened to a Robin. That counts for something.
So you guys want to talk about that mid-credit scene?
Oh sure.
Yeah.
I saw it. I didn't know there was one until I heard somebody talk about it in a review. I'm glad I actually did one. Otherwise I would have left. Not because I just don't like sticking around for trailers. I mean, credits if there's no end credits.
I usually do. Just because I like soundtrack stuff. I can do that for Force Awakens, even though I knew there was no end credit scene. Plus, because I just love the font for the credits of Star Wars films. Don't ask why. I just do.
The blue, it's so beautiful.
It's blue. It's interesting. It's not just normal colors. The end credits for this was actually really good.
Stylish.
Like the credits themselves.
Yeah, they were neat.
So yeah,
it was kind of
That's
weird
the
how-
highest praise I have. I liked the credits.
It was weird that they showed the stars while the credits were going up.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
Also, Katana, she was so low. She was put beneath Slipknot.
oh, wow.
In fact, her and Slipknot were under
Scott Eastwood.
Hot Barista. I'm not even kidding. That was actually a thing that they got put under.
Usually, it says cast. They usually say in order of appearance.
I don't think it was in order of appearance because, well, no, maybe you're right because it does say Will Smith as was top billing and then Margot Robbie, but it depends on how high Leto would be, huh? I guess that does make sense then because she was very low in that film. Her and Slipknot both.
But yeah, mid-credit scene.
Can I say that I think it's one of the stupidest things I've seen in the movie? So Ben Affleck goes, "I'm here to offer you protection for the," and then Viola Davis is like, "All right, now the government already knows about the Suicide Squad and we got it cleared up, but for some reason I need protection from Bruce Wayne." And then he's like, "I'll protect you for anything you want," and then he's like, "Just give me what I want." And then she says, "Here you go." And she gives him files on all these people that he already knows about because Wonder Woman sent him an email the last movie.
I guess it's a matter of what the government knows. Because apparently he can't figure out... Well, maybe it's because of the beard. He can't figure out that it's Ezra Miller because of the beard. He's just like, damn it, who is that bearded guy with the long hair?
and then he
Like,
goes,
the facial recognition software won't work.
and then they chat a little bit, and then he gets up and leaves, and then she goes, "You look tired, Mr. Wayne. Maybe you should stop working nights." And then he goes, "Oh, what? How did she know I'm a really rich, buff billionaire that hangs out in Gotham, and I'm asking questions about metahumans? How did she find out I was Batman? That's totally crazy."
But
And then
that was the point of the scene, because I thought she already knew, like, the moment he walked in, like, they were acknowledging it each
no,
other.
but she says, "You should stop working nights," and then the music was like done, and he turns away. He turns around, it's like, and with a look on his face, like, "How did she know
Really,
that?"
I took it as just like, you jerk.
And then she
Like, it
said,
was I thought it was just like another person nagging him about, like, you're taking a night off, like Alfred.
I didn't read
Because
it
the thing is, I assumed that she knew that they both knew each other from when she said, because they're like, oh, you tipped off the police in Gotham? No, just tipped off the right guy. I thought that was like she and Bruce Wayne, as Bruce Wayne and Waller are in communications, but maybe I'm wrong.
But then his response is, "Yeah, well, you better put him away, or I'm gonna put him away for you." And then he leaves.
My
With the
take,
League or something.
a league of
Well,
justice.
Which I actually expect, like, I actually expected him to be like, what you're doing isn't, like, justice.
You know,
They should have done the cry for justice thing. You should have been like, and together we can be justice. It's just like, oh god.
Because he's Batman.
Yeah, I didn't like that end credit scene. It was just the best end credit scene I've seen in years was in Finding Dory. Now that's how you do a post credit scene.
My favorite mid-credit.
What was that?
I didn't see.
Oh, have you guys not seen Finding Dory?
I've been trying to. I wanted to. I just didn't get around to it. I wish I did.
Do you mind if I tell you what happens after the credits?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, go ahead.
So it takes place in San Fran,
Ooh, nice.
and there's this ongoing joke with Idris Elba and someone else, or like these sea lions on a rock.
Uh-huh.
And then there's this like weird looking cross-eyed, I'm assuming mentally handicapped sea lion who wants to get on the rock with them, and they're always like off, 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 off. It's really funny. Come on, Gerald, get off a rock. Off, 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 off. It's really funny. It's an ongoing joke.
Oh, I gotta see that. My favorite.
But then what happens is it just shows them the sea lions lying on the rock, and then bloop, 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 up pop Gil and everyone else from the aquarium and Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
And they're like, "We made it across the ocean, hooray!" But they're still in their little baggies.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
then what happens is like, so most of Finding Dory takes place in like a fish hospital.
Yeah.
And then like these people roll up and go, "How could they do these to these poor fishes?" So they put them up, like take them to quarantine. And then it's so funny because the fish cross all the way across the ocean only to
get back in there.
Get put back in an aquarium. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Actually, my favorite mid-credit scene from a movie that I've seen will always be, I think, the Winter Soldier mid-credit scene. Also because it has the best Marvel Cinematic Universe character with his monocle of awesomeness. But yeah, I always thought that was my favorite. I don't know why. I just always loved that.
What's his name? Baron
von Strucker.
Baron Wolfgang von Strucker.
Von Strucker.
That is the
For
best.
me, it was probably. I really love like 70s Spider-Man, so I'm a weirdo. But for me, it's the Spider Signal, just because I've been dying to see that thing on screen.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god! I do wish they did the belt though, just because I love the fact that he has a belt that's not invisible. It's just under the costume. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't make credit scene, to be honest. I thought they were trying to differentiate themselves.
Yeah, I was shocked by that. I'm kind of glad they're doing it.
At least in theory, yeah. I thought you didn't want after credit scenes when we last talked.
Well, yeah, when we thought this was an original, like, unique universe with its own take. Now I know they're just fucking, like, walking around blind.
Yeah. Like, what works? What works?
Yeah, I don't like how reactionary this universe has become.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They just we need an intervention and a break and a breather.
Well, we only have to wait 10 more months to see how Wonder Woman turns out.
Oh, God.
I'm scared.
Wait, 10 months to the next DC film?
Yeah, 10 months.
And Justice League is next year too, right?
Yep, it comes out in November.
Ooh, so it's two more of the Snyder universe, and then maybe, just maybe, that's when afterward we'll finally get something good with Ben Affleck's
But
Batman.
if this movie doesn't do well, do you think they're going to pull the plug?
I think they will pull the plug if it doesn't. Unless, I mean, I was talking to your brother yesterday about if this sucks, if it does not do well, and he was saying even if Wonder Woman does well, they'll probably pull the plug, and I think that's kind of accurate. Like,
It's
if it doesn't
amazing,
make
yeah.
its 80 million or 800 million, I don't think it's going to be able to come back from that.
It's almost like an
That's
Amazing
the thing, though.
Spider-Man situation, except Amazing Spider-Man universe is actually pretty interesting and good. At least I liked it. I don't know about you, Connor.
I thought the first one was okay, and then I thought the second one was okay.
Okay.
I like the Amazing Spider-Man thing is like people really hate the second movie, but it was just so average to me that I don't care. Like I honestly don't care if it continued or if it stopped. Like I just had no stakes in that at all.
Okay.
It just kind of existed. But the thing is, they have think of how much they've spent on pre-production for Aquaman alone. They have James Wan, one of the hottest directors in the business right now. The last 3 movies that guy has made have been huge financial juggernauts, both domestically and overseas. He made The Conjuring, he made Furious 7, and he made The Conjuring 2. All 3 of those movies have been out of this world huge successes. Do you think they might take a chance with Aquaman?
No.
It's James Wan, and they've already spent a lot of money on it, but it's Aquaman, and I don't know if people would see that because people are assholes and don't like Aquaman.
They didn't take a risk on Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's James Wan. That is 3 films in a row that have been huge financial successes.
That is possible. I mean, directors definitely have inside. It's all Hollywood is politics, so.
And I mean, I don't know if you've seen those 3 movies, but I think the Conjuring movies are really good. And I thought that, and I think he's an incredible director of horror. And you know what? I thought Furious 7 was one of the most entertaining, turn your brain off action movies of last year.
If Aquaman is like the breakout character of Justice League, they will. Like, if people like him and receive him well in that film, they will do the Aquaman film.
What about the Ben Affleck film? Do you think that's happening no matter what?
Yeah, it might not even be part of this universe, though.
I
think it's possible they might axe the universe and just keep Ben as Batman.
I would like that.
Which would be nice.
I would almost like to I don't want to see no more DC films. That's a bad thing. I don't want a empty period. Although we could focus on comics again. But anyway,
Really?
I don't know. Well, it could you did after Star Wars prequels, where you just kind of had to focus on EU stuff, and that was a good couple of years.
Yeah, but I feel like DC films can work. It's just you don't need to do a shared universe. Like, again, Suicide Squad. Like, you could do a cool Suicide Squad film. It just doesn't need to be connected to anything. You could do a cool Batman film. It doesn't need to be connected to anything. You could do a Superman film that doesn't need to be connected to anything.
Do it like
since
DC
we've
Comics.
killed off a bunch of people. Which that's one thing I will give this film. It didn't kill off major characters just for shock value.
Thank goodness.
That was good.
That's the thing that bums me out about Suicide Squad, though. The whole gimmick of Suicide Squad is anyone could die, and but they have to. But that's the weird thing about this premise is it's such a neat thing that unless you have all new characters, then I don't know.
I have
I was worried that they'd kill off Harley or somebody just for shock value. I think Boomerang should have died. I think that should have happened. Because it's annoying that they do the cliche Suicide Squad thing of the sacrifice and the person who Boomerang talks into killing themselves, which he's done several times before. Because he talked a guy into walking off a cliff, I think, or over a area that he wasn't supposed to, and then they just blew his brain out. I wish somebody was killed in battle, just to show how big the threat was, but the threat wasn't really important. Sadly,
I have an idea how I could see the future going and how I would do it myself. This might seem weird, but hang on. So you do the Ben Affleck Batman movie, and it's not in the cinematic universe; it's its own thing. Then you maybe do like an Aquaman movie or a Superman movie or what have you. But if you want like to bring them together, like have a team up, you can use the same actors, and you can kind of just do what DC does. It's like everything kind of separate, but they kind of pretend it's in the same universe, but you don't like really make it that important, kind of a thing. It's all about the characters. So you can use Ben Affleck's Batman, and then whoever you cast as Green Lantern in a Green Lantern film, and if that's successful, and you can bring them together. But it's not like, ooh, we're part of this grand story. It's like, oh, we're just bringing them together for this movie, and we're using the same actors because that's part of our studio.
I like that, and I like that approach. That's something cool because the novelty of it being a shared universe, like that's worn off now. It's 2016. That
Right.
wore off that wore off in 2012, 2013.
And the reason it works for Marvel right now is because they built their shared universe already. They have an institution.
Yeah, and
it's no longer see these famous superheroes in the same room. It's see these people who have become those superheroes. Like they've kind of transcended just being an adaptation and become kind of their own thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like that's why Civil War is so awesome, is because now we're telling like a really good story with all these characters that we know and care about. With this one, it's not 2009 anymore, guys. Like this being a shared universe isn't that impressive anymore.
And that's why my approach, you can do not necessarily maybe a shared universe, but like maybe you can reference something from your previous movie if you want, but like that's not the point. It's like we're just gonna use these guys together because we have a cool story where Batman and Green Lantern have to team up for something, or Batman and Superman have to team up for something,
or Flash and Green Lantern. I love that team.
Or,
that is such...
or Flash and Green Lantern. Anything. It's the shared universe is not the point, but they can touch sometimes if you want them to.
Yeah, I like that. That'd be such a neat way to go
That's
about it.
That's how DC Comics does it anyway.
Yeah, it is, and they can just tell their own darn stories. Like it's
like okay, like let's say they do make live action Killing Joke, or at least their version. Like it can be a separate thing, like the Killing Joke was, but then if they want to reference it and have it be important for the later things, they can. Like isn't that like Killing Joke's whole point?
Well, Killing Joke was just kind of supposed to be its own individual thing, and then it just kind of became canon. That was kind of weird how that happened. Like
it wasn't even like a reveal of it. It was just kind of like because it was so successful, it just kind of assumed that it just became canon overnight.
Yeah,
it's a weird situation there. But
anything more you guys want to talk about? Because I do have to get going.
I really want different DC films because. Like, I'd like just a Superman film that doesn't have anything to do with the shared universe, because we haven't had a Superman film since 2006. I mean, he's not been on the big screen since 2006. That's kind of annoying.
Are you insinuating that Henry Cavill isn't Superman?
Maybe I am. Not Cavill. Ralph coming back would actually be awesome. They never do it, but that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Superman returns.
Brandon Routh shows up and starts beating up Henry Cavill.
We find out he's been Bizarro this whole time.
Yeah.
It makes sense. One more thing about this thing that makes me confused. They say, well, Superman shared our values. Well, he certainly did if you guys are the scum of the earth. So.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Like, Superman, he was a good guy. Like, what? No, he didn't.
And according to Amanda Waller, he was a good guy.
He threw a fucking satellite at you guys. It was like, security doesn't matter. It's like...
That's a $6 billion piece of equipment. It was.
And Superman changed everything, apparently, even though we don't see it, except for that one guy selling t-shirts.
Oh, well, he changed everything. He fucking leveled a city.
Well, that's true. That is changing things.
2 of them, actually. Like, that constitutes as change.
Yeah, and I like how they say remember. It's not condolence anymore. It's a remember the Superman. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, remember what he did.
What if Superman busted into the White House and ripped the president right out of the Oval Office? A, that's something he probably would have done. And B, you already have a whole team full of people like that.
They do?
Yeah, you have El Diablo. You have an expert marksman. What's stopping these guys from running into the president's just ripping them out of the Oval Office.
They have explosive in their heads that can make them go boom.
And they have a person with a sword who can stop them.
Yeah, just like steals the soul of the president. Oh wait,
And the-
presidents don't have souls.
She,
Politicians
I
don't
think you're
have
gonna say
souls.
like, wait, why would she kill just accidentally, like in the middle of a fight, she just like accidentally steals the president's soul?
Plus, I think Amanda
Like
Waller
she
is
accidentally cuts like like one of their own people. Oh shit! It's like, yeah.
Plus, I
Actually,
think-
does that sword have to kill you, or does it just have to maim you for it to steal your soul?
I don't know.
I'm thinking way too hard about that.
So I think Amanda
But yeah,
Waller could-
so
Final
we
thoughts?
had thoughts on Suicide Squad.
Yeah, some of us liked it more than others.
It was a movie.
It exists, and who knows what the future will hold.
Hopefully, a lot less Scott Snyder. Or
Zack
Zack Snyder.
Snyder.
Well,
Both
Connor's gonna get pissed about that.
Wrong Snyder.
It
I'm
was a
actually
2.5
excited for
out of a
All-Star.
10.
What?
I said it was a 2.5 out of a 10.
I give it a 4.
I'd give it a 6.
We're just
I'd give it a 6 just for Killer Croc saying that he is beautiful. That that puts it
That
ahead.
was a good moment. I'll give it that. That was
He's a beautiful killer croc.
Exactly.
that's a good moment about body empowerment or self-empowerment. That was all right. I liked it.
Crocodile empowerment. Yeah.
He feels comfortable in his own
No
skin.
croc shaming around here.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah.
So yeah, those were our Suicide Squad thoughts, everybody.
That almost got really dark.
Yeah. Oh, yikes.
Suicide thoughts.
Because DC has been doing terrible movies lately. Oh, I hope nobody.
It brings a real new meaning to that thing from the Honest trailer for Avengers that will put all of DC Comics on Suicide Watch.
Well, if you watch how Ratsko feels about Warner Brothers right now, they need to be on Suicide. Oh gosh, it got dark. Okay, sorry.
I think if this movie tanks, I know what's going on in the minds of WB execs.
Oh, God.
Oh my, yeah.
If that actually... Well, let's not get too dark. So yeah,
Till next time, everybody. I'm GID123.
I'm Red Leader Antilles.
That was Connor with us. Say goodbye, Connor.
Goodbye, Connor. Oh, wait. Goodbye, everybody.
See ya. Bye.